Molly, you vacillated between absurdist comedy and darker comedy. Why, with Divorce, did you decide this was a story you wanted to tell now?
Well, I was so excited to work with Sarah Jessica Parker, number one. And then secondly, I think that, you know, so many people struggle in marriage. It's really hard, and you can feel really alone in that, really alone. My character is a character who has a volatile marriage, a roller coaster marriage. And I have so many women coming up to me like, I relate to your character, like they really related to it. I felt like, this is so great. You know, women need to see themselves represented on screen, and I just felt like it was really real. I mean, look, over 55% of marriages don't work. You try to heal these old parts of your childhood through marriage, and most of the time it doesn't work. It's really hard.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, Diane. This is Jackie Giannopoulos.
I've heard so much about you.
Have you? That's so interesting, because I've heard nothing about you. I didn't even, honey, you didn't tell me that Robert was gonna be our dinner guest tonight, or that he was bringing the Jackie.
I left a message on your cell.
Oh, for God's sakes, I haven't listened to that thing in 2 years. I don't come from a traditional home. I was raised by a man, my mom died when I was little, so I don't have any kind of ideas about how life should be for women and children and families. I'm the most open person. And so traditional marriage is like an odd kind of foreign thing to me that I really don't know that much about, even though I'm in one.
I was going to say, you and Chris are such an amazing example of making it work.
There's a great Nora Ephron quote where she says, how could I know what's going on in anyone else's marriage when I don't even know what's going on in my own? When I was first a struggling actress, and I was a waitress, I worked at Cravings Restaurant as a hostess, so I was living check to check, renting a rec. You know, I had very little money in my account, but I got a job on a John LaRoquette show, and I played a female protester, and they were all very nice. I was supposed to be a topless protester, but it's a sitcom, so they were gonna shoot us from behind. But then the director came and told me, and I got the part, it was like a speaking part. He said, I'm so sorry, but you're gonna have to, it was a bunch of girls too, but I had to speak, I was the lead protester. But he said, you're all gonna have to take your tops off. And, you know, just because it's too weird from the back, it shows, it's not good, so you're just gonna, and I was like, then I have to leave. And I was a broke actress.
Wow. And you did,
and I did, I said, I'm so sorry. And my body walked to me. I go, I have to leave. And I did, started to walk out to my car, and they came and got me, and they said, wait a minute, hold on, we think maybe you could wear like pasties. And then I went back. And I have to say, John LaRoquette was not part of that. He was very much a gentleman. It was somebody else, I don't remember the director, but how about that, ladies?
Can I ask what you did?
Can I ask you a question? No money.
If you could think back,
yeah.
What was it? Because I'm curious, and I feel like people out there should hear.
Okay.
Can you think back and remember and articulate what it was in you that said no?
And the bravery to walk away.
Yeah, what was that?
Fuck this. You're full of shit. You want all these girls to have their tops off. And how dare you? I was furious. And I also felt embarrassed. I was like, I'm not gonna do that. This is worth no amount of money. I will go back and sweep floors at my restaurant. Fuck you. Wow. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Also, amazing demonstration of the power of saying no.
Yes, that's what I was just gonna say.
Back to this whole conversation we've been having.
Anger, and how you can use your anger sometimes to fuel you forward. There's nothing wrong with it when it's used appropriately. It made me really angry.
What is the most amusing feedback you've received trying out for a part?
I remember once going in an audition when I was first starting out, and I bumped into a girl. She was like, oh my God, have you gained like 100 pounds? Right before I went in. No. I just remember it really hurt my feelings. And now when I think about that, I won't say who the girl's name is, but I'll never forget. And I was like, how mean.
Yeah.
But at the time, I didn't have strong enough boundaries to be like, what a biatch.
Well, who does one say to that anyhow?
You know what? It was very nasty, and it was kind of trying to notch me down.
Yeah. I know. I always have the after moment of what I would have said, because
don't we all?
In the moment, I usually am like,
Hi, I'm Frankie Shaw.
Hi, I'm Molly Shannon.
I'm Deborah Messing.
Thanks for watching The Hollywood Reporter.
The Hollywood Reporter.
The Hollywood Reporter on YouTube.